Hello, welcome to Tuesday's Not Today with me, Mark Dennison. Thank you for joining us. Here's what's on the show today. And firstly, we'll be heading to Wilford Suspension Bridge, where plans to remove love locks have sparked concerns among walkers and residents.
It's a good place for her to come, and think about her parents and her children come and their grandkids. And I think it's a nice thing to do.
More on that in just a moment. Plus, we'll be meeting the Knots artist whose embroidered portraits of women killed in femicide is going on display in New York. Alison Whitmore has spent the past 5 years working on the portraits, with the selection going on display at the Anya and Andrew Shiva Gallery in the Big Apple next year. She'll be on the sofa to tell us more in just a while. Plus, we'll be casting our eyes back to last month's Splendour Festival for a mashup of The King and Kurt Cobain as we show our interview with Elvana.
So we perform the songs of Nirvana peppered with Elvis Presley. Now, I'm not actual Elvis Presley. Y'all know that, right? He works in Little.
Okay, fair enough.
A little less conversation.
Oh,
Ouch. In sport, we'll be hearing from Stags manager Nigel Clough as they prepare to take on rivals Chesterfield in the League Cup tonight.
It's like gold dust. The teams haven't met for a few years, and having been involved in similar sort of games between Derby and Forest over the years, I think it'd be very, very similar to that. Looking forward to it.
And we'll be hearing from Notts head coach Martin Patterson, who's looking for a reaction from his players after Saturday's defeat to Salford.
I'm a positive head coach. I'm an honest one, so let's not try and paper over the cracks of the performance for the first 60 minutes, but let's move forward and get the performance right against a really good Wigan team.
So all of that and loads more coming up for you. But firstly, love locks placed as memories on the Wilford Suspension Bridge in Nottingham will be removed within weeks after concerns they're affecting its stability and safety. Hundreds of padlocks have been placed on the bridge, which connects the Meadows and West Bridgeford, as tokens of friendship and love. But Severn Trent has given people 8 weeks to take them down, promising it'll look after the ones that remain, as Mary Angel Acosta reports.
For years, the Wilford Suspension Bridge between the Meadows and West Bridgeford has been covered in love locks, padlocks left as tokens of romance, friendship and remembrance. But soon they will be gone. Water company Severn Trent says the weight of the hundreds of locks is affecting the structural integrity of the bridge, while also causing damage. So from the beginning of October, Severn Trent will begin removing any that remain, giving people just 8 weeks to collect theirs if they want to keep them. Among them is Sean Tona, a local who came here today to rescue a lock placed in memory of a family friend who loved visiting the nearby park.
I think it's a nice place for people to come and reminisce about people they've lost in the past and memories. I've come down because the family have left their locks here. This is a good place for her to come, and think about her parents and her children come and their grandkids. And I think it's a nice thing to do. And it'd be a sad time because flowers go, don't they? You can lose flowers and they die. But these are a nice reminder of people you've lost.
Many visitors and locals say they understand the decision, but others feel like a little piece of the city charm is being lost.
I worry that in the longer term they will cause some damage to the structure of the bridge because they get very heavy. Sensible to do it at this point.
I'm not happy at all because we put a lock on there when I first met my partner. She's now my fiancée and I'm to get married next year. So if I come down here and chop that lock off, what's that going to say about my relationship?
I think they look all right when they first put on, but when they start to get very rusty, I think they look really scruffy. Yeah. I do, honestly.
Signs have been placed on the bridge, warning visitors not to add new locks and explaining that the existing ones will be removed. Severn Trent says the locks will be well looked after, with early talks on the way to create something special with them. Spokesperson add, "We need to make sure the bridge stays safe and strong for everyone. More will be revealed on this in due course, and we would like to thank everyone for their understanding. By autumn, the bolts might be gone from the bridge, but for so many, the memories they represent will remain locked firmly in place." Mary Angel Acosta for Knots TV.
Now it's time for our first guest of the show, and the artwork of a Nottinghamshire artist will be going on exhibition in New York next month. For the past 5 years, Alison Whitmore has been crafting embroidered portraits, each one dedicated to women killed in incidents of femicide. This exhibition will be confronting the challenges of gender-based violence, which crimes against women and girls make up 20% of all recorded crime across England and Wales. Here to tell us more about her work is Alison herself. Just a little warning, the next chat may contain details that some people may find upsetting. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Why does this subject mean so much to you? Why is it so important?
Well, it's a subject where, as a woman, you are always aware of instances of misogyny, chauvinism, sexism towards you, and it can, if you're not careful, you can very easily end up in situations where you're not safe. And I've got direct family experience of domestic violence, where fortunately those people have been okay and got out of it in the end, but it has been very upsetting and very difficult.
Of course. And why choose art as a vehicle to get that message across?
For me, I'm not really a writer. I do a little bit of writing, but it's not, you know, it's not my profession, or I'm not brilliant at it. But for me, art is a way of expressing things in a way that is impactful. So the embroideries themselves are something which is really beautiful, and from a distance, all you're seeing is the beauty. It's only when you're getting up close to them that you're actually then met with the impact of what the message is on each one.
Presumably you have to get in touch with the families of those women, and
I haven't actually,
okay.
and that's a question I've been asked quite a lot of times. The information that I've got and the images that I use are published on media, and I usually use the BBC website.
Right.
Because it's, you know, usually good information. It's a good source of an image as well if there is one released by the family. But that's an image that they've allowed to be released, therefore it's in the public domain.
Right.
But I've not felt comfortable to contact families, because the nature of what I'm doing isn't just paying tribute to the women. It's not just a beautiful portrait. It has actually got the upsetting information on there as well.
About the crime.
For me, that if it was my relative, I would find that a very difficult thing to look at.
Yeah,
but, you know,
brings everything back.
Yeah.
You were just telling me as well, it's not the first time you've had your work shown in America. It's been shown in Chicago. I mean, you're truly international, Alison. You've shown all over the world.
Funny enough, it's a lot easier to be international than it is to get exhibited in the local area.
Really?
Yeah, so much easier.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the New York exhibition?
I am petrified.
Why? Sheer numbers of people?
I think it's the scale, yeah, because it's a serious exhibition that I've been invited to, and the whole exhibition is about femicide. The importance of it is making me quite nervous, and also I've been invited to talk to a class of university students for about 45 minutes about my work. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking,
right,
as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot to it.
Did it feel real, the moment where you saw your name amongst all the other artists who are showing their work?
It still feels like it might be somebody else.
Right.
You know, a lot of people have imposter syndrome, and I think I have quite a lot of that. But yes, it's good to see that list, and to see how international that list is. You know, and have my name on there, because I think I'm the only British artist that's in that exhibition.
Quite a thing.
Yeah.
What are you hoping people come away with? What's the message you want to resonate with then?
The main message really is to raise awareness of the huge issue around femicide, around violence against women and girls, and to illustrate that justice is frequently not done for various reasons, or delayed for quite substantial amounts of time for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
And that can be things like the police not being able to identify DNA evidence, or it can be perpetrators having passed away before they've been identified.
We'll have to leave it there, but appreciate you coming in. And
Thank
good
you
luck
very
with the
much.
exhibition as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alison. Time for some Notts news now, and a suspected burglar was arrested in Notts after an off-duty officer spotted him in possession of a missing bike. The PCSO was on rest day when she spotted the suspect on Bennett Road in Mapley about 6 p.m. on Sunday evening. The suspect dropped the bike and ran from the scene before being spotted by the same PCSO a short time later on Mapley Top. He was eventually tracked down by police officers arriving at the scene, arresting a 44-year-old man on suspicion of burglary. And three people have been arrested after a drone was seized after a package was dropped into a Notts prison. Staff at HMP Loudon Grange reported a package suspected to contain mobile phones, cables, chargers and drugs which had been dropped behind the prison walls on Sunday morning. Minutes later, officers spotted a vehicle reportedly involved in the incident around Colwick Luke Road and arrested two women aged 19 and 46 and an 18-year-old man on suspicion of conveying prohibited items into a prison. The man was also arrested for driving without a licence or insurance. Time for a short break. When we come back, we'll be heading back to Splendour for a mashup of Elvis and Kurt Cobain. We've got all of your sport as well coming up in a moment. Hello again, welcome back to Tuesday's show with me, Mark Dennison. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's happening in Notts today. Firstly, the closure of a Nottingham road has again been extended while a sinkhole and collapsed water pipes are repaired. Part of Upper Parliament Street has been shut for nearly 3 weeks while Severn Trent Water discovered a collapsed sewer pipe underneath the road. Repairs to the pipe have been described as deep, you don't say, and complex, with repairs extended and initially expected to conclude this week. However, Severn Trent said it needs more time for repairs after a separate pipe was found further up the road, with work continuing until August the 22nd. And a disused pub in Nottingham will be demolished and replaced with family homes. The mill in Bagnall Road in Basford was put on the market for £350,000 in February last year after a period of difficult trading. In May, plans were submitted by the Mill Nottingham Limited to transform the site and use it for 9 new family homes. Now, Nottingham City Council has approved the plans, which include 6 3-bedroom and 3 4-bedroom properties, with some having off-street parking and others having garages. Moving on now, it's time to cast our eyes back to last month's amazing Splendour Festival, when thousands of music lovers descended on Woollerton Park to enjoy music and family fun. And acts like Jake Buggs, Sophie Ellis-Bextor Block Party and the Kaiser Chiefs crowds braved the rain and thunder to enjoy the music, and one of the acts stealing the show actually was Elvana, a Nirvana tribute band fronted by Elvis Presley, sort of. They took to the stage on the Saturday. Emma Caldwell caught up with the frontman on the Notts TV bus. Here they are.
On the Notts TV bus, post-performance on the main stage. Your performance was by far my favourite of the whole of Splendour. Like, you brought that to Nottingham.
I know, she says that to all the Elvis impersonators, right?
Because I've got to be honest, I wasn't aware of you beforehand. Describe your act, because it blew my mind, and then I saw it and I thought this works so incredibly well.
Thank you. We are the world's finest Elvis-fronted Nirvana tribute.
Brilliant.
So we perform the songs of Nirvana peppered with Elvis Presley. Now, I'm not actual Elvis Presley. Y'all know that, right? He works in Little.
Okay, fair enough.
A little less conversation.
Oh, it's good.
I say that joke quite a lot, but it's a good one.
The thing is, though, you say this like an Elvis-fronted Nirvana tribute band. It shouldn't work, but my goodness me, it works so well. And those songs just seamlessly get into each other.
They do. And we've been performing live for almost 10 years
Wowzers.
now. Yeah, absolutely. But we we came upon the idea when we were invited to perform at a fancy dress party.
Right.
And some friends of ours asked if we would perform, and we thought, what are we going to play? Okay, we'll play Nirvana, because all our friends like Nirvana in the 90s, the grunge scene. And but we don't look like Nirvana.
Yes.
I know, I don't look like Elvis Presley either, but we don't look like Nirvana, so let's hire an Elvis Presley jumpsuit.
So good.
And pretend to be Elvis in his backing band and perform the songs of Nirvana.
The staging and like the cheerleaders you had on stage as
do.
well.
We have some very talented cheerleaders.
They are good. And
they do the real singing.
How did you find the Nottinghamshire crowd here?
They were
Splendid?
fabulous.
They were good.
They were up for a good time.
Mm-hmm.
They had a fabulous time. We the rain stopped, so we didn't have any worries there, and everyone just wanted to have a party.
And they really did. One of my favourite points of the show was when you were right in the crowd and you're kind of getting everybody crouching down, and then they get up and they're dancing. They were loving it.
They love it. They love it. Things can get a bit messy. We do mosh pits and like the circle pits. Have you seen the Wall of Death? Have you seen that one? That's where you spread the crowd in two and then everyone runs in at each other. Yeah, that's crazy. But this was it's a family-friendly festival.
Yes, it is.
So there's a lot of kids, so we don't want kids getting caught up in that. So we did a big jump, and everyone seemed to have a good time.
And they really do. And I think the thing is, you are so brilliant as a personality. Like, even everybody here at Knots TV, just your vibe as you came in was so good.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Time for some sport now, and we'll start with Mansfield Town, who have a huge League Cup clash tonight when they travel along the A617 to take on local rivals Chesterfield. The Stags haven't had a great start to their season, losing both their opening games 2-1, including late on to Doncaster on Saturday at Field Mill. They take on a Spyrite side who've won their opening 2 League 2 matches. And speaking ahead of the game, Nigel Clough said he expects a good atmosphere in tonight's high temperatures.
I think the weather might manage to have an impact on that. You know, we're talking about being 30 degrees, so I think that might take if you get a cold winter's night with a wet pitch and everybody's, tackles are flying in, but we still expect a certain level of passion in the game, without a doubt, because of the nature of it, and we have to be ready for that. Wish we were at home. Wish we've got our home fans behind us, but we've got to go there and fight and scrap and see if we can get a result. I think tickets are like gold dust. The teams haven't met for a few years, and having been involved in similar sort of games between Derby and Forest over the years, I think it'd be very, very similar to that. I'm looking forward to it.
Notts County are also in League Cup action this evening. They travel to take on previous FA Cup winners Wigan. The Magpies have had their own tough start to the season, drawing with Newport to open the campaign before losing to Salford at Meadow Lane on Saturday. That caused a strong reaction from their head coach Martin Patterson, who said the performance didn't match the club's identity. And speaking ahead of tonight's trip to Wigan, he said he needs to see a reaction from his players this evening.
We were poor for an hour, really poor. Didn't play our way. Didn't do the things that we've worked on in the week, which is a sin for a football team. And again, I'm not airing anybody out, it's on me, but the positives were when we start to tweak it and we start to play with a bit more freedom, we look like us again and more attacking. So I think the positive that I can take from the game is, the positives are minimal, but the one thing I will take is some individual performances when they come onto the field. So I'm a positive head coach, I'm an honest one, so let's not try and paper over the cracks of the performance for the first 60 minutes, but let's move forward and get the performance right against a really good Wigan team.
Across the Trent, Forest are on the brink of signing Man City midfielder James McAtee. The 22-year-old, who can play as a midfielder or a winger, featured 15 times for Pep Guardiola's side in the Premier League last season and also spent a couple of years on loan at Sheffield United. It's understood, Forest have made a bid in excess of £20 million for the playmaker, who's previously played with Morgan Gibbs-White and Elliot Anderson in the England youth setups. In cricket, Notts Outlaws assistant coach Paul Franks believes there's more to see from the side as they continue to push on in the One Day Cup. Their most recent match was a loss to Derbyshire, their first of the summer, having won and drawn their opening 2 games in the competition. They're travelling to face another East Midlands rival in Leicestershire Foxes tomorrow. In a video shared by the club, Frank said there's a lot of excitement both from the squad and from the return of the 50-over format.
We've got a lot of good players down the line. That's the really exciting thing for me. I've watched a cross-section of guys over the last 2 games play really well. Now it's about making sure we start to string those consistent performances together, keep growing as a team. You hope that white ball cricket's going to be entertaining. You hope that it's going to give you loads of twists and turns like 50-over cricket can. You hope that it's going to give you all the action that you desire, whatever you want to be as a supporter. And I think you've seen it all. You've seen great bowling, you've seen great batting, you've seen some excellent fielding at times. You've also seen guys, when put under pressure, they've been able to handle it. And I'm really proud of the team. I'm really proud of how everybody's come together.
Now, elsewhere on Notts TV, we've recently aired a brand new episode of the Notts TV debate. Fran is on a holiday, so I stepped into the hot seat and I was joined by Webb Freckingham, Tracy Dickinson-Wilden and Marcus Alton to talk through the stories hitting the local, national and international headlines. You can watch the full show on demand and on our YouTube channel at various points here on the TV as well. Here's some of the discussion on whether there's enough support for local businesses here in Notts. I remember a few years ago there was a cheaper, you could park for £1-2 in the evening, and that draws people in, so they think, oh, we'll go for a drink, maybe go to the theatre or go for a meal, whatever. But you've got to make it worthwhile, haven't you? You've got to make it, like you say, safe, feel nice, but also an incentive.
The city council keep putting up business rates.
Well,
that's the thing, is the empty shops. They're actually losing money. They're saying, oh, they're struggling with budgets and money. Why not open these shops at a reduced rent and get some income coming into the city? I know that. But I agree with his saying about being safe on the streets. I run a street kitchen for the homeless on a Friday night outside Marks and Spencer's, and I agree, clean up the streets. I mean, I've been abroad to Iceland and things like that. The streets are perfect. Why have we got to live within some places rat-infested, dirty food in the city? What's going to encourage people to come in?
But it's not just in foreign cities. I mean, I recently went up to Liverpool and, I didn't quite know what to expect. My first visit there, pavements were beautiful, lovely and wide, lovely and clean. And to be honest, being in Nottingham, in an evening, it's not necessarily a nice place to be.
No, it's
not. Safety, cleanliness, a lot of, as you pointed out, fast food places. It's geared, I think, to a student.
So you can catch up with the debate whenever you like. Right now we can catch up with our picture of the day. You could call this a corny picture. So we've got a budding acorn here, thanks to our very own Nicola Dawson. Didn't that one on just right in the middle there looks like a little lion's mane? Just me? Just me. And you can send us your pictures to get it shown on the telly as well. Tag us, Notts_TV on Instagram. As for the weather forecast, well, hot is all we need to say, really. Highs today of 31 degrees, even hotter tomorrow after tonight's low of 16. It's going to be something like 33 degrees, probably more sunshine as well tomorrow. Look at that humidity, 77%, is that? Whew. And then Thursday, slightly cooler, still humid, and lows of 15 degrees on Thursday evening. That is pretty much the end of the show. Thanks to all of our great guests. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow with more Notts news and views. In the meantime, have a nice night. Stay cool. Bye-bye.